everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So this video, let me just start off that way. This video has been 4 to 5 days in the making. Now, I wanted to try the devotion brownies. So I will include that footage after this to show you the exact process on how I made it. So I figured it'd be easier just to lay it out here and then we would jump right into the video. So I had purchased the Devotion Brownie Batter Protein Powder. And part of the reason why I did that is because there was a recipe for brownies. They were 1 point brownies. And I thought, wow, 1 point brownies, I've got to give these a try. So I bought all the stuff to make them, including the sweetener that they had suggested, and I had pulled all that together. So I brought them home, super excited, finally made the brownies, didn't like them, did not like them. The brown sugar substitute that I used had sugar alcohols in it, and that's all I could taste was just the sugar alcohols. So I decided not for me. Just wasn't for me. So I thought, well, the brownie batter protein powder was probably sweet enough. So the next batch I made, no sweetener. I just left that out just to see. It was better, not sweet enough. So what you see me holding here, no judging, people, okay? Just no judging. This one here is the brownie batter devotion protein powder. And this one on this side is the Quest chocolate milkshake protein powder. So I switched up the sweetener because it definitely needed something. I added in 1/8 of a cup of the Splenda brown sugar in place of the other sweetener that they called for. Everything else I left the same. So I thought, since this is just going to be my final try. If it doesn't turn out, I'm just going to have to delete all this footage, and I'm really hoping it turns out because it'll be super exciting. So if you do not have a problem with sugar alcohols or the sweetener itself, go ahead and try it. I'm sure that'll be fine. I just don't like it. I just don't like that aftertaste. So if that's okay for you, definitely give those a try. So I had already had the chocolate Quest, and I figured since I was making these, I just made a double batch. I'll take them in, share them with my friends. Hopefully they're good and I can share them with my friends. So I thought I would just go ahead and give these a try and see how they were, and then give you an update as to what version. Well, I'm sure you know what version. It's definitely not the first two. The first two are not my favorites. So the first one we're going to try, and these two, so the first 2 batches were 1 smart point each, and these that I made here, I just cut into 16 pieces instead of 8 to keep them at 1 smart point, just so that I could keep it just as a sweet treat, but 1 smart point. Definitely have 2 if you want for 2. So I think it points out to 2. I didn't recalculate it. I just went off the recipe itself. So better, much better. There's no crazy aftertaste. I think the sweetener really helped with that one. So Devotion, thumbs up, with the 1/8 of a cup Splenda brown sugar versus the other sweetener that I use. And you'll see that in a few minutes on the video, because I think I'll keep it now. So Devotion, good. So now we have the chocolate milkshake Quest one. All right, this one's good too. I was trying to take my time because honestly, they're so similar in taste. I'm gonna have to have a friend taste them side by side as well, but they're so similar in taste. I was like trying to figure out, based on which one I was trying, which one I would have liked better, so I'm not sure. They're too similar. I'm gonna say they're almost the same. So if you have the Devotion Brownie Batter one, give these a try. If you have the Quest Chocolate Milkshake one, definitely give it a try. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run in with my video. Not sure how the flow is going to be. Hopefully the flow, it'll go really well. And then I will add the clip in from test 2 at the end of the full recipe video. Hopefully that makes sense. So definitely test 3 and 4 much better, like much better. And I'm glad this turned out because again, it'll give me something new. I mean, you can always try the other variations out there, but I like having different recipes for my protein powders because again, I've invested the money and this gives me another way to use them. So, all right, enough chit chat. Hopefully this all makes sense and it flows well. So enjoy the video. So today I am bringing you another Mud Hustler recipe. And if you're listening, Mud Hustler, love, 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 love your recipes. So today we are making fudgy brownies. And as usual, I will link a copy of the original recipe below so that you can make this for yourself. So I have the oven preheated to 375 because that's important to do before you start mixing up anything. Otherwise, you have to wait, and that is the worst part. So here are the ingredients you're going to need so that you can whip up a batch of these brownies on your own. 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 scoops of the Devotion brownie batter protein powder. And I haven't used this yet, so this is going to be my maiden voyage for this protein powder. 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I think that he used the dark chocolate. I have the regular, and I'm just going to use up what I have. 1 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, not pumpkin pie mix, whatever it's called, but just the plain pumpkin canned. 1/4 cup of Sucrin Gold Brown Sugar, and we'll talk about that in just a second once we start mixing things up. 1 tablespoon of vanilla. We're going to mix that all together. We're going to throw it into a 13x9 pan sprayed. We're going to bake that for 20 minutes, and voila, there you go. So I'm going to grab a bowl. I'm going to open up my cans and such so that we can get this recipe rolling, and I'll come right back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get this started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. And I just have mine in a bag here because every time I put the flour bag back in the fridge, I end up having to clean up a mess. So it just seems like this is a lot cleaner. All right, so 1/2 cup all-purpose flour in the bowl. The next thing is 2 scoops of the Devotion. This one's the brownie batter, so you can get a good look at it. Now, I did pick this up on Amazon, so if you want to grab some of this, or I'll show you this right now while I'm thinking about it. This, I picked up both of these on Amazon, and you will find the link below to my Amazon influencer page below in the comments. Now, just note that I do get a very small percentage of anything that you purchase once you click on that link. So I just want to make sure that I give that disclaimer so there's no confusion. Doesn't cost you anymore, just helps me along so that I can continue to make fun videos for you and be able to continue to pick up, you know, different ingredients and such. All right, so enough of that commercial. All right, so I wish you could smell this. Look, it smells just like brownie batter. They're not kidding. It really does smell like brownie batter. All right, so 2 scoops of that. Just going to put that right in there. All right, so next up we have 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 1 tablespoon. All right, so got that in. And I'm just using plain old store brand baking powder, nothing special with that one. All right, so next thing is 1/4 cup of Hershey powder. I really should be putting the ingredients off to the side after I use them. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get started and I forget what I put in, and then, you know. I think our lighting's okay. I forgot to grab my other light. So sorry if it's a little dark. All right, so 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. It's gonna be like super chocolatey. All right, so we got that in there. I'm gonna set that off to the side. Next up, we have 1/4 cup of sucrin brown sugar. I've never used this before. I bought this just for this recipe. So hopefully it's good and I like it. I didn't waste a lot of money on this. I'm gonna scooch in just a little bit more there. All right, so let me get this. I tried to remember to open everything, but I forgot to open this one. So as I'm opening this, what are you currently, this is my question for you for this video, totally not food related. What are you currently watching on Netflix if you have Netflix? So for me, I just finished up Lucifer. It's kind of a comedy. Pretty funny. I mean, I just finished season 3 of that. And now I am watching The Legend of Hill House, I think it's called. Kind of scary. That was a little scary. Okay, I can't close this, so I'll just close this when we're done. So Legend of Hill House has been pretty good so far. So I'm just in the first season of that one. So those are my 2 Netflix shows that I'm watching right now. I do like to watch scary things. So if you got any good scary suggestions, let me know in the comments, because I'm always up for a new scare here and there. All right, I'm gonna grab a fork real quick and beat up our eggs. Before I throw those in. I thought I would just throw my eggs in and throw my brown sugar. Can you see that? No. Hold on, please. Now can you see it? Yes. So I'm just gonna throw my brown sugar right in with my eggs. All right, so we have that in there. It calls for, of course, 2 eggs. I just put that together with the brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of vanilla, so we're just gonna pop that right in here so that I can put all my wet ingredients in almost at the same time. All right, so there's our vanilla. The last thing we need to add in is our canned pumpkin, and I, don't laugh. I have this canned pumpkin here, and guess where I got it? Ready? Ready? You're not gonna guess. Ready? Menards. You guys know I pick up everything at Menards. If it wasn't for Menards and Amazon, whew, my life would be a little more difficult. All right, so we're just popping that in there. 1 15-ounce can of canned pumpkin. I really hope these are good, because I have heard great things about them. And again, everything that I have tried that Mud Hustler has put together, I have loved. So I'm just gonna kind of mix that in a little bit. Did not call for any liquid, so I just think it's gonna be a really thick batter. I'm hoping the eggs will kind of pull that together. All right, so let's put our other ingredients in here and start to beat this up. I don't know, usually the protein powder is kind of sweet, so between that and the brown sugar, I have used, like, of course, there it goes on my counter. You guys know me. I have used the Splenda brown sugar before. I almost wonder if this is kind of like the same stuff, but I'm not sure. I didn't do enough research. I just seen the ingredients and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it together and get the ingredients they use, and then I'll play with the recipe after that. But for now, we'll just use their ingredients and go from there. I like when I see weird ingredients and I can't find them, and then I can find them on Amazon really quick. It just makes it easier so that I don't have to go store to store searching. And I told you the trick with the glass bowls, right? I always like to do glass bowls when I'm mixing up batters and such, so that you can see if you have any flour or anything left at the bottom, and I think this looks good. So I'm going to wipe off my counter, because you know, that always bugs me. All right, good. I'm gonna grab my baking pan. if you can. All right, I'm just gonna back you down a little bit. I'm gonna grab my cooking spray. Then we're gonna spread this into our pan. Don't want that sticking. Nothing worse than making yourself a treat and then everything sticks to your pan. That is not fun. All right, so just going to scrape this down on the sides. I'm not sure, I don't think you can see what I'm doing over here, but you can hear it and you can see what I'm, just in your head you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just gonna put this in here. Now this does make 8 servings. And it called for a 13 by 9 pan, which I think is what size I'm using. So hopefully I guessed that right. I was gonna put it in an 8 by 8 pan, like a square pan, but it called for a bigger pan, so that just makes it better, right? All right, so I'm just gonna spread this out the best I can. It's like as soon as you get it to one point, then it shifts and moves to the other side. So hopefully it spreads out on its own during the baking process. All right, so 375, 20 minutes. And I think we're ready to go. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm just gonna test them. Looks pretty clean. Still pretty good. All right, I'm gonna let these babies cool off and then I will cut them again, 8 pieces. I mean, look, it's gonna be huge. It's probably gonna be this big. I cannot wait to try these. All right, cool down fast, fast, fast. Okay, these are my take 2 brownies. I made the second batch without the brown sugar sweetener. For some reason, when I tried the brown sugar sweetener ones, you could taste the sugar alcohols in it. So I think that these will be sweet enough without it. So we went ahead and made another batch, and as soon as they cool off, I'll give them a try and I will let you know the difference. Okay, so my thoughts are they are a little less sweet. They are a little, they're good. I mean, they're good. They're so much better than that first batch. So I would definitely either leave the sweetener out or replace that sweetener with something else that you like. Now again, you can feel free to frost these. You can add a little powdered sugar on them, which would be really good. But if you have any sensitivity to the sugar alcohols, I would definitely not use that sweetener. I was not a fan. So I will figure out something to do, somebody to give it away to, something, but that definitely was not for me. If you have maybe some Splenda brown sugar, I know that you can add some of that. It may add an extra point to your brownies, but they would definitely be a little bit sweeter. But I think it would make them 2-point brownies instead of 1-point brownies, which is still totally acceptable. And they're huge. I showed you guys, I hopefully it comes across on the camera, but they are huge brownies. Okay, I can honestly say now this is the most difficult recipe that I have tried to conquer. So this one here is made with the Devotion protein powder, and this one on this side is made with the Quest. This one is my 3rd attempt with the Devotion protein powder. This is my 1st attempt with the Quest.